Hey, so some stuff happened. Video games.
Yeah. You want to talk about the big one?
Um, well, there's two big ones.
All right. I'll let you pick whichever big one you want.
So with the announcement, we'll start off. We'll go in chronological order here,
Yeah,
but
let's do that.
Street Fighter V Champion Edition DLC characters revealed for the next season of Street Fighter V include Dan Hibiki, Rose, Oro, and Akira Kazama from Rival Schools. Fucking
Yay!
amazing. Good job, guys. How about that?
Yeah, that's great. Those are good
Been
characters.
been calling for Oro for a while now. Dan, not so much, but always a fun time. And
Yeah.
an Akira from Rival Schools pull is.
Rival schools exists. Wow.
How about that? The first acknowledgement in a very long time. The first acknowledgement since Tatsunoko versus Capcom. And wonderfully welcome characters. Akira, one of the best characters in on that roster. Just design wise, I think everybody is
Both
absolutely
of her
in love.
designs are excellent.
Yeah, and I think it's never been about her gameplay because no one really like gives. Unfortunately, no one really cares that much about how she plays, which is not wonderful in my brain, but
Yeah.
super amazing character design that I'm glad came forward. I'm glad it wasn't Batsu.
Yeah, me too.
Because, that would have been like, well, Shoto, we know the deal. Kyosuke is also, pretty. He got well represented in CVS too, so that was great. But Akira getting in there is fun. And who knows, maybe there will be a reference where, maybe one of her supers is like her brother jumps in and does the team up attack, and Daigo takes a couple hits
Alien kicks.
and then beats the shit out of you.
Oh,
That's the thing about Rival Schools characters is they've always got to have in every guest appearance a level 3 that calls in their partner attack because it's such a major part of the game. So a lot of fun on that. I'd say Rose is. Go ahead.
yeah. Rose is there.
Rose is kind of the milk toast pick in that. You can very easily imagine what she'll be like, and it's cool that she's there. But I don't think anyone was super clamoring. I know that like gameplay wise, Rose has always had some very disgusting shit. So they can make her very very good very easily if they wanted to. It's interesting. I think this is a nice little unexpected surprise for Street Fighter 5. I
like
think
Oro holding his turtle.
Mm-hmm. I think considering it ended in a place where I basically was like, well, it's less about this game as more as it is I'm having fun with other games, and then the online debacle that we kind of got into not too long ago was like pretty rough. But at the end, I was like, oh yeah, Seth is a pretty cool addition. I like what they did with that, and I also like what they did with Gil. But here, I'm definitely gonna want to see what they have going on with these characters that I like. I'm gonna definitely mess around and see what they have to offer. Dan's animations look pretty elaborate already, so that's cool.
I hope he has a super taunt back. Does he have a super taunt back?
He definitely has his taunt with a hitbox on it because we
Good.
saw him
Good enough.
doing a roll into the elbow. So Oyaji probably going to be in there in some form. I would like them to pay homage to his moves from SVC Chaos because he always gets more in there. It'd be really cool if he could do the super taunt that actually stuns you.
Yeah. It's really crazy that Street Fighter V is getting DLC characters after the Championship Edition, which was said to be like the finale of the Street Fighter V like product cycle.
They did.
And these characters are going to be coming out till 2021.
They did, but then they came out and said, actually, we're doing another season.
Oh, that's crazy.
So
I wonder why they'd have another season.
Yeah.
After they said that. That's goofy.
Well, it's
What could have happened?
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Is there any other news?
There sure is. it looks like after a very long time being the face of the brand, Yoshinori Ono will be stepping down from his responsibilities and is leaving Capcom this summer. So
Huh.
a letter of resignation was sort of published, and it looks like Ono's going to be stepping out.
Oh no.
Yeah. So this is one of those ones that you know, it's someone that's been working at this thing for a long time. He's been the face for a while. You know, people definitely have pretty recent memories of 3-2-1 Shoryuken, you know, in their minds and stuff like that. There's definitely been, you know, stuff that's out there that is I think there was a good tweet that basically said like, hey, like it's possible to kind of appreciate the stuff that was done while also you know, keeping in mind that this is a someone who, you know, like may have been responsible for like working like Seth and Combo Fiend out of Capcom possibly, and there's unsubstantiated stuff that was said in regards to that. It's not 100% confirmed. There's not much I can really say here, but to keep it as honest as possible, like we've kind of had made these sideways glances and smiles over the years a little bit, but here's the truth of the matter is this, guys. Like over the years, I've heard some like not great stuff in regards to production related stuff with Ono, and like it's like a lot of different things in a lot of different things involving projects and stuff like that is just like not really great sounding, and just in general there's things about like tough to work with and things like that. In other cases a little more extreme, but it is so it's one of those things where you're like, okay, you know, I wonder if a little bit of that conflict and that like sort of hard to work with part of things is a factor in what led to this moment, because it wouldn't seem out of place for there to be eventually a disagreement that leads to, you know, them parting ways based on what the previous conflicts have been like.
Yeah. I appreciate that Ono cared enough to bring back Street Fighter and made the effort with SF4 to bring it back, and that is very appreciated. However, from my personal experience, I have never heard anyone have anything nice to say about the man and working with him. And may, in fact, have heard many not great things about working him, particularly in production. Also, when the recent rumors came out that Street Fighter 6 was actually planned for like this year or maybe early next year, but it sucks ass, I would classify those rumors as extremely unsurprising. And what with Ono supposedly being the head on that project and possibly having that project given to somebody else to fix it, I am extremely unsurprised that Ono would eventually resign if he can't actually run Street Fighter anymore.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to... That's the least surprising part of that story, to be perfectly honest. And it certainly lines up with what's been said, you know? And, you know, of course, this is the type of thing where, you know, it really comes down to, like, I would say... Anyway, I think the way we phrased it is the right way to go about it, because you just kind of like, you can't really speak on behalf of other people, You know what I mean? You can't. There's a lot of people that have had their takes and have said these things. You don't want to speak on anyone's behalf, and you definitely don't
I don't
want
want to
to.
speak on anybody's behalf, and I
Yes,
don't want to say anything that can't be proven. But what
exactly.
I can say is that
Yes,
I have absolutely, positively never heard
yeah.
one nice thing about Yoshinori Ono ever from
And
anyone who has worked with him.
um, you also don't like want to elaborate further beyond what you've been asked to elaborate on. So that's,
I sure do.
you know, that's kind of the tone here to understand. But all things considered, yes, as you said, it is nice and appreciated that Street Fighter was brought back and that it was, it had a return to form after so long without there being any. And apparently he was responsible for the sound design back on Third Strike in the day and shit like that. And you're like, that's fucking awesome, man. Like, very cool with that. Maybe a little less so on Capcom Fighting Jam, but hey, bygones. those are of yesteryear, you know. But
Let's all just thank Ono for helping Street Fighter 4 get made, and also never forget that Ono is a Blanca player.
well, there's that part of it. But I think that's it. It's that there's a very like sort of conflicted and mixed feeling that comes with um, not hearing any good stories, as you said, and also being aware that like a lot of people kind of see a public face, but there might not be a consistency between that and what happens behind the scenes. So, um,
I am much more excited for Street Fighter 6 now.
I'd like to see where things go with some fresh eyes, fresh leadership. See what direction things are going to go with. Yeah, just a completely different person at the helm. Might be cool. Might be cool. I would think. I have my suspicions. It will be pretty much for the better all across the board. That's
I
how I.
also suspect that.
That's how I feel about it.
I suspect that the reason we're getting a new season of SF5 DLC is because SF6 needs way more work on it than it was originally planned. And that they wasted many monies on it. And now they have to make the monies back. Hopefully, the delay will give it rollback netcode that is good.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But this is an announcement that I've been kind of sitting and wondering about. I was like, this is gonna go down at some point.
Yeah, you know what?
When's
That's
it
the
gonna
way
go
to
down?
phrase it. That's the way to phrase it. Woolie and I are sitting here going, I wonder what year this story is going to happen. And I guess it's this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking that all the way back when SF5 launched.
At least once a year, there was a moment of, will it be this year? I wonder.
I wonder which year Ono's going to leave. Or, quote unquote, air quotes, leave.
Yeah. I mean, and there was like even on his side of events, like there's things where you read the stories about how he's like, I was worked to the bone, and I got sick from overworking, and the company didn't care,
That is totally accurate.
and that
He did get horribly sick from overwork, and the company didn't care at all.
yeah, yeah, and you're like, well, now you're also just like, it's like all things aside, all other stuff mentioned aside, like. That just sounds also as well as if like there was just probably an unpleasant, vibe in place already between him and the company on stuff like that, on personal matters like that as well. But it's not
Awesome.
not our place to sit and speculate.
Not our, hey man, I'm just some guy.
I don't know.
I always, you know what my favorite thing ever is? My favorite thing ever, and this is totally unrelated to what we're talking about now. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about now. But when a leaker comes out and has like dank leak news and can't reveal their sources, right? Because their sources is somebody who works there, whatever, right? And people are like, haha, what's your source? Just some guy, or trust me, bro, right? And they all make fun of the leaker, and you look at it and you're like, no, that's real. That's super real. It's kind of upsetting that this person's getting made fun of because they can't blow up their source. But no, that one's on point. It's always a sad little.
Every once in a while there is a leak that comes out, and you kind of look, and you just kind of have your own little PogChamp to yourself. You just kind of, there it is. But yeah, I know what you mean. I know.
My favorite is like when a game gets announced and you're like, oh, wow, that's crazy! I can't believe it!
Oh my god!
They really made another one of those.
So we'll see how this goes, man, and we'll see. Maybe at the next fighting game roundtable, we'll see who's sitting down in that place, in that seat.